Hello. I'm gonna make a little video here because I got some time right now and I'm feeling alright. Feeling good enough to talk and not just fucking cry like the last video that I was gonna post, but I decided not to because I'm just tired of fucking posting videos of me crying and venting and being sad. I want to post more videos of me actually talking about things that may be helpful, even though they might seem kind of boring sometimes. They will be insightful, and that's what I prefer, because I wanna say things that are gonna actually be helpful, not just to other people but to myself as well, because they actually help me when I'm looking back at them and thinking about what I was saying and really putting into perspective. It's actually helped me a couple times. I've helped myself a couple times. How about that? Sorry, I'm a little congested right now. I don't have COVID. I'm not dying or anything from that. I've had this shit for a while, since before I've heard of this, or this whole hysteria started. I've had basically my lungs congested because I smoked, and it's getting to the point where I'm smoking, and instead of helping like it used to relieve all my problems, it's getting to the point where my body's just like, it's just like absorbing all the smoke and just keeping it inside of me, trapped in certain parts of my body, and makes it harder for me for the oxygen to flow freely in my body. And I know this because I can feel it. You know what? That's gonna be my topic right now, is not just my feelings. That's always the topics of my videos, but the fact that people have doubted my feelings, because they don't agree with them, I guess, or they don't think I'm right about it. But my feelings have never been wrong as far as what I'm feeling inside of me, like my physical symptoms and stuff. For example, my tumor that I have now, I actually had it back when I was 17, but I didn't know what it was, but I knew that I had something there since I was about, let's see, 8th grade, and I was like 7th grade, so I was about 13 or 14. So since I was about 13 or 14, I knew that there was something off with my eye. And I knew that it hurt, when I'd look to the left, my eye would strain. So I knew that, something was wrong with me as far as my eye. And I would tell my mom constantly, like, something wrong with me, there's something wrong with my eye. But my mom would always just think that I was trying to be melodramatic, or just, I don't know, she kind of would think I like just wanted attention. So she would just like at first just downplay me, like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, you're fine, you look fine. And in her defense, I mean, I probably did look the same as when I was a baby, because I always had my eye look a little off since I was a child, because it was there since I was a child, the tumor. But it didn't, start really affecting me until I was around 7th grade, 8th grade. And so yeah, finally she took me to the doctor. Well, she had taken me several times, but we forget to tell the doctor about it until one time she remembered randomly, and I told the doctor, about what was going on, and he looked at my eyes and he was like, yeah, it does look a little bit off. Yeah, we'll do a CAT scan, whatever. So lo and behold, there was a tumor behind my eye, and it was removed, and I probably saved my eyeball, because if I hadn't said anything, I would have, it would have just stayed there and kept growing until probably my eye, I did start having issues with my vision, and then I'd be like, well, what the fuck, But I knew, I feel it, I could feel that there was something wrong, and I did something about it. And it's the same thing with just, not just my feelings, but when I feel something in other people. And this is a bit of a different topic, because that has to do more with it has to do more with an aspect of the future and what the future is gonna look like, as far as the way we communicate. And that's it's basically empathy. It's factors of empathy. I'm sorry, I know I'm sounding very confusing right now. It's hard for me to express what I'm trying to say, because I don't want to sound like I'm crazy, or like I'm just out there, because they are like out there thoughts or ideas. But really, when you look into the science of, because there's people that have done studies, and that are doing studies now on this type of communication within us, and it's been proven that we do have, like, humans have an energy field. We have what's called an aura. We have our own, our own energy signals within us that we can send out to each other and back and forth. The way plants do, in a similar fashion as plants do, or animals, or everybody. It's within every living thing. So basically what I'm saying is that I have the ability to feel what other people are feeling, whatever they're feeling, whether they're sick, whether they're angry, whether they're happy, whether they're sad, whether they're frustrated, whether they're anything, any feeling you could think of. I can feel it within myself, like actually as a feeling within my body, as if I'm feeling it myself, but it's not coming from me. It's just I'm basically tuning into that other person and feeling it. So it's very frustrating to know, that I do this, and I know I'm right about something, because I can feel it, but somebody else that's maybe in denial about what they're feeling, or they don't want to admit it, or they don't want, they just don't want me to be right about it. They just try and downplay me, or ignore me, or act like if I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just very frustrating to me, and that happens a lot. Because people don't like to be wrong. People don't like to be proven wrong. People don't like to be exposed if they're not ready for it, or if they don't want somebody else to know. Obviously, they don't like to be exposed. So it's a very frustrating thing because, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my sister on this issue, because this is this is an actual experience that I know for sure, you know, is a fact. And I'm kind of hesitant too, because I know my niece watches my videos, or she's watched them before, and I'm pretty sure my sister probably has watched it too. And she doesn't like when I, you know, say the truth about things, like most of my family. But I don't care. I'm gonna talk about it because it's an example that I want to use that is from my personal experience. So I'm not trying to like bash anybody. I could have done that a long time ago if that was my goal. I could have done that when I was at my peak anger about everything. But that's not my goal. And they could keep thinking that if they want to. I really don't care at this point, whatever they think. Anyway, so my sister, for the longest time, you know, I kept telling her that she has some pent-up resentment towards my parents because of how they treated her as a child. And she would not like admit it. She would just be like, oh, I'm over it, it's in the past. Much like my parents were when I tried to talk to them about the same issue regarding their parents. They just like, oh, it's in the past, it's all gone, it's just, the past is the past, just forget it, you know, get over it, you need to get over it. And it's like, I'm not trying to like, you know, bring this up because I'm hurt about it or whatever. It's just because I understand that you still have that resentment in you. I can feel it, I can sense it, I know it's there, and it causes these imbalances within your body that makes you, you know, have a certain vibration that you send out into the world, that you keep within yourself, and you have it in your aura, and it's out, you know, whenever you're going out. I have them in me as far as, you know, things that have happened in the past to me, like in my own personal experiences. And I have tried, and this is actually honestly like one of the reasons why I tried to bring it up to my parents, is because I wanted to like, you know, let that part of me out and let it go. But I was unable to, because they just basically like shoved the door in my face about it. So it's like I'm left to deal with it on my own, and that's what I've been trying to do. But it's not easy. It's really not, when you're like, when it's kind of like a taboo subject that you're like not allowed to talk about or bring up. It's a lot harder. And then when people just keep saying like, you know, just to keep it in the past and just get over it, it's like, it's not really like in the past if you keep something that's, you know, that bothered you as a child. You keep it locked up inside of you so deep within that you don't even realize that you're imprinting those same things within the world around you, you know, by the way you react or you present yourself. And and so yeah, I would try to tell her about that more. I would try to tell her more because it was easier for me to talk to her about it, you know, since I didn't have any like real emotional reaction whenever she would like deny it or just say whatever, it's in the past, I'm over it, because it was like her story that I was talking about, not mine. So it was easier for me to like just be like, okay, fine, you know, like, and just whatever. But I would tell her like, you know, you don't like to be around our parents. You don't like to be around them. Why do you think that is? Like, why do you think you know, you would rather like not see them for as long as you can than just make more memories with them while they're still here. It's because you have resentment. It's because you have this anger within you about it that you haven't let go of, regardless of whatever you think you know about it, whatever you think you have within your mindset of as far as who you are now and what what life you live, how happy you are. You still have that in you. And it's frustrating to me when I try to like tell people this and they just don't listen to me. They just want to, act like if I'm just a drama queen, or I just want problems. No, I don't. I really don't. I don't. I don't want problems. I want the problems to be fixed. If I was, wanting problems, then I would be in your lives right now. I would still be a part of your lives if I was still wanting problems, or more problems, because I have enough problems of my fucking own to deal with. It's frustrating as hell. Oh, God. And there's just so much of that goes on. And it's not just my family. Like I told my niece, like I told her when, she commented on the video where I was talking about my sister the last time. I told her it's not just, one family. It's in all families. It's in every family. Everybody, has had some trauma within their childhood that they've just learned to make a part of who they are, and they don't, it changes from trauma to comedy at a certain point in our minds, just so we can deal with it, and we go about our lives with this blockage there, just not allowing us to be who we really are, who we really were meant to be. And the creative geniuses that are within all of us are just trapped. They're trapped inside, and they're not allowed to express themselves freely because of all these traumas that are just blocking that. And it sounds like bullshit to some people that don't understand what the fuck it is, because they're stuck in all their traumas and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to think about it, and they don't want to be exposed on it. So to those people, I don't really give a fuck what they think. I don't really give a fuck, if they don't believe it. They're gonna find out one day, anyways. That we live in this world where these stories are just constantly like pushed to us. The universe keeps throwing it in our face until we do learn to deal with it in some way or another. So they're gonna find out one day anyways. It's just I know that if people were to like take the extra step to like willingly move towards finding out and getting over it and allowing themselves to truly be over their traumas, that this world would be a lot less of a shitty place than it is now. I really know that. This is not something that I think, or it's a theory, or it's like and some kind of psychotic imagination in my head. It's a fact. Like, I know that if people would just deal with their traumas, get over it, and move along in their lives, that the world would just be a much better place. It would fix itself. And I'll prove this one day when I get over my fucking traumas on my own, because that's the only way apparently that I'm going to be able to do it, because I can't get any fucking help anywhere on this earth. Nobody can help me. And my problem right now more is just learning how to deal with the anger of it all, because I've pretty much gotten over the resentment part. I'm just still angry. When I say resentment, I mean as far as my personal story. Like, I'm over that. It's just more the anger as far as everyone else, like not seeing it or not wanting to believe or not wanting to, you know, deal with it. I want to deal with it. I just fucking can't. Like, I can't. I don't. Mine is a complicated one. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna keep smoking now.